Hi everyone, Linda here. It's time for Christmas cards all year, challenge number 11, and I'm following a tutorial by Peggy 2 called Window Card Fancy Fold, and this is the way it works. Isn't that cute? I just love it. So, anyway, the first thing I did was cut out my bases, which are standard, 8.5 by 11 cut in half. So it's 5.5 by 8.5. And then, so now it's 4.25 by 5.5 when you fold it in half. So you scored it 4.25. Then I cut out the next layer 1/4 inch smaller, and then this is 1/4 inch smaller. So it's lined up. What I did, Peggy did it different, but what I did is I put all my paper together. She said she couldn't do it that way because the die she was using was stitched or something and it cut through it. So I was able to put my die on and cut through all 3 pieces after I got them lined up, and I used some of this tape. But if you can't cut through all 3 of them, then just cut the top one first, then trace the inside of your die with the next one and cut it, and then the next one. But you always trace the inside, because if you trace the outside you'll have it lined up all goofy. So I have those 3 pieces cut, and then the next piece you have to have is 4.5 by 6, and then that was scored at 2 and 4, and then it's just folded a zigzag fold. Okay, the other thing I have cut are frames, and that's the part that is around here. And the way I did that is I took a piece of cardstock and cut the square out. Then I took this piece and the next size bigger and lined it up so that I had just enough space, and then I used my repositionable tape and taped it on and ran it through the Sizzix, my die machine, and then I ended up with these little frames like this. Okay, so, and then the other thing I did is I cut out a poinsettia with a die, and I'm not sure which die this is, who makes this die. I think it's a Sizzix die, to tell you the truth. Then I just sprinkled some Lindy's on it. The first one I took my distress pen and put it in this spritzer thing. This isn't the Tim Holtz one, but it looks just like it. And I just sprayed them a little bit, but I don't know if it's going to show up on the top of the Lindy's spray, but I just thought that was kind of fun to use too. And so then I'm going to put a kind of went around the edges too, just so it would show up a little bit. And then I'm just going to take a little brad and put them together. I punched it with my crocodile. I like the way they're curling up a little bit. Alright, so I'm going to get started putting this card together. And I'm going to take off the repositionable tape. And I'm going to use wet glue. Peggy suggested using wet glue because then you can line things up a little better. So I want to make sure I have it kind of close to the edges. So I don't know, did I say, I think I said challenge 10. This is challenge number 11. So it's October 25th is the start of the so by then, you should have 55 cards made if you made 5 cards each month, which is what the challenge was. I usually make 6 because if you cut cardstock for you know, cards, then it's usually, you know, you get 2 out of a 8.5 by 11 sheet. So that's why I make 6. But I challenged everybody to make 5. Whatever you need to be ready in November to send out your cards. And this challenge will be up November 25th. So you should have enough cards by then to send out to all your friends. So you glue this one piece down in the back like that. I just lined it up with the edge. Then I'm going to close it. I'm going to put the frame on next. I just thought this frame's turned out really cute. Okay, so I'm just going to line that up, and all these squares line up perfectly because they're all cut with the same die. Then I'm going to put one of the squares back in, and you know, you could make sure you have the right square, but I kind of like, you know, not having the exact same one because then it looks different, you know. But you can make sure you have the piece that goes to this when you're making yours if you want to. So I'm going to just put this back in here like this. So I'm going to put my glue on here. This I could probably use tape with, which would probably be a better idea, but I didn't. I'm going to make sure it can go in and out there. And you just want it on this side. And then I'm going to put the flower over here. And I think I'm going to make sure that's going to open and close. So I want it over on this side. I think I'm going to use the tape for this, for the flower. You could use anything, really. Kind of turn it just so that these petals will fit inside the frame when I open it. But see how easy that is? I just love it. Except these aren't going in. There we go. They move around, so that's good. Peggy said the more you play with it, the more, you know, this slides. And that's sliding pretty good. Then what I did is I took the white piece that came out of here and just made a little flag and stamped Merry Christmas on it and Happy New Year. And then I'm just going to put that on the inside. Then one more thing that I did is I used my Tim Holtz Merry Christmas die cut. What I did is I took, this is the Merry Christmas, see it's out of there, and I took some of this two-sided tape that I have, and I told you I got this like at a, oh, it's called Delaney's. It's like a liquidator place where he buys all this stuff, and sometimes he has boxes of this. So like every time I go, it's usually he's down to 2 in the box, but okay, so I put the tape on there. It's two-sided tape, and then I just put the Merry Christmas on here like this. Try to get it on top of the tape. Then I use my two-sided tape, or my repositionable tape, and then I put that through my machine. I always check to make sure it looks like it's cut all the way through, and it is. I'm just going to take it off here. And see, the Mary is already sticky, so, because the backing came off on there. So I'm just going to get that out of there. I'll take it off the two-sided tape. And just use something to poke that out. I have a pokey tool, but I try to use a lot of the extras when I cut everything out. And I'm just going to stick that on there like that. This tape is really very sticky. And then Christmas, you might hear Eve upstairs. She's watching Thomas the Train. She loves her Thomas. So there you have it. There is my card that I was inspired by J.P. Peggy 2. She called it a window card fancy fold. And this is going to be my 11th card, or I'm sure I have 55 cards or more because sometimes I make more than 6. But I hope you'll join us over at Your Paper Pantry. I'm trying to decide. I think this might be the last challenge for the year. We'll do it 11 months and then you send your cards out. But on Christmas Day, I might do another, do the first challenge for 2017. I can't believe it's already here. Check out Peggy, JP Peggy 2 on YouTube. She has lots of great cards. And head on over to Your Paper Pantry and show us what you're doing. If you've been sticking with me and making 5 cards, you have 55 cards to give away. I know a lot of us don't send that many to family and friends, but you can take them to nursing homes, you could sell them, you could do a lot of different things with them. Put them in gift packs for people to give to other people. All right, thanks for watching. Have a great day. See you at Your Paper Pantry. Bye-bye.